Hey everyone. Um, just uh, just figured I'd go through the news. I've been gone for a week. Um, Shoe on Head dropped I would call it a somewhat of a bomb. It was great. It was awesome in so many different ways. But a little review of what we're gonna go through today. We got uh, beginning of the week. Keir Starmer resigns. Obviously he's not out yet, but obviously that's gonna cause a not I don't know a snap election. I guess would be the best way of putting it, but it's whatever. So and then we have a movie that is quite controversial, and I guess um, one country kind of sort of best way of putting it shadow banned it, but whatever. Iran breaks the ceasefire again. No surprise. And I just feel like going through some World Cup stuff. So let's start with Keir Starmer because that happened on Monday. Um, so Keir Starmer, he resigned over mounting pressure from, I would say, the Goths. Um, it's kind of funny. We've got beginning of, or actually end of last year, we had Amelia um, kind of beating him up. And then we've got oh God, I'm horrible with names. I wish I would have names that stay in my head. Jake, he, I mean, he's got a pretty big following over there in England. Well, England, not really England. Um, the UK, because he is actually from the Northern Ireland area. And then, let me see, what else happened? I don't know. Riots, because they've had enough of people doing things uh, like stabbing people. um, so Keir Starmer's out at some point here. I think the timeline is sometime before September, but it's whatever. It doesn't matter much. And then following into this, let's go over a movie. It is called Citizen. Uh, Vigilante. Oh my God, reading hard today. Um, Citizen Vigilante. I mean, I wish I would have known some of this because I would have loved to watch this movie. It's funny. So it's basically about a guy who takes care of rapist gangs. And it's just it's so counterintuitive to what's going on in Europe right now. Um, and the reason why I believe it's news is because here, um, Germany shadow banned this. And it makes me sad because that's a country what I do want fixed. I want it to be better, and I want it to go somewhat back in time, which is, not very nice of me, but I don't really care at this point because it's a problem. Um, they didn't outright ban it through legislation. They didn't outright ban it by saying so. They didn't outright ban it doing anything. They banned it by not giving it a film rating. And within their laws, if it does not have a film rating, it is not legal to show in cinema, sold, or physical copies, or streamed on major platforms in Germany. Okay, that's called shadow banning. I don't care. It's a shadow ban. And doesn't mean that you can't bring it into the country through other countries. Like you can buy it in I don't know Switzerland or you know cross the ways to Austria or France or any of the other countries that still have it available on shelves. you can bring it back, but you can't buy it there. It can't be sold in that country. And I wish I would have known about the opportunity that Mr. Musk gave. They made it free for 48 hours. Um, Him and the director of the movie basically did that, and I missed it. I missed the 24 hours. It sucks, but whatever. So, or 48 hours, not 24 hours. 48 hours. It's a free watching of a movie that I want to watch because now I'm gonna have to pay for it. That kind of sucks, but whatever. Ties all together. Migrant things are happening in Europe. Um, England's starting to, well, UK is starting to uh, maybe push towards good things. I don't know. There was something in France. I believe there was quite a few arrests for. I think it was either a mass stabbing or some random thing like that. Whatever. But maybe the UK and France are going to start this and it'll spread. I'm hoping. But next thing on the list is Iran. Why do we even try to fake this anymore? Like, we've already had, I don't know, one, two, three major ceasefires. One time we're sitting there negotiating in Pakistan, and the next time, we did something else. This time we signed a thing in Geneva, and they're supposed to have talks in Switzerland, which are now suspended again. Why? Because Iran can't keep their goons in check, and that might be kind of our fault. We decided to cut off the head, and now they can't quite get everybody to get along. And obviously, you can see how Iran was kind of ran a little bit too tribalistic. Um, because now that they don't quite have a full-on leader of their crazy jihadist um, organizations that ran the country, we got some rogue commander somewhere just saying, nope, we're not going to negotiate. We don't negotiate with anybody who's haram. Bad haram. Haram, haram. I'm not sure. I mean, like, it's the only religion based group that, like, I mean, religion is a very dangerous double edged sword. It's good to have faith, and it's good to believe in something greater than yourself, and it's good to have rules within a religion. But once you use your religion as a weapon against another religion or a different group of people, then it just turns into psychosis. It's just like you keep on, you know, for some reason, once you start using your religion as a weapon against another group of people, you no longer are capable of discussion. You're no longer capable of, it's like a horse with blinders. They can't see anything but the one thing in front of them, what they believe in, and that's it. And it's just bad. And this is why I'm tired. I'm really tired of anyone negotiating with them, even looking like you're negotiating with them. It's just it's time to get rid of that group of people running that country. It just is. There just there's no negotiating. You're never gonna make it work. They're always gonna break it. They're always gonna think that they're right, and and I honestly, I kind of said this at the beginning of the week. Well, beginning of the week, last week, that because I watched um, habitual line crosser about this subject, and I was like, this is not going to work. I don't care. I'm hoping I'm eating my words, but whatever. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm completely right, but gosh darn it. Like, come on. I mean, you people in higher places should be smarter than some of the average Joe. Like, some of the average Joe in the country is just saying there's no way that you're going to do this. There's no way this is going to work. And we've been saying it since the first ceasefire or whatever you want to call it. Just that this time around, the media spun it so bad that a lot of us started worrying that this is actually going to, that there's going to be, I don't know. I actually kind of believed the media for a second, and I'm sorry, I guess. Next subject, something good today. Um, I'm I am a football fan. Sorry, it's soccer, I guess. Whatever, soccer, football, football, soccer. The only difference Europeans call it football American football because that way they can distinguish between their football and American football. We just I don't somebody tell can somebody tell me the history of the where the U.S. actually like decided to start calling it soccer instead of football because it's been football. It was football over in Europe. It existed before American football, and I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. Soccer, I guess. So there's two games that I'm interested in. I am interested in the Germany game and the U.S. game. U.S. game should be pretty easy. I mean, they're playing Bosnia Herzegovina. Um, but Germany, sorry. I mean, the U.S. calls it soccer. The rest of the world calls it football. I probably watched football slash soccer in Germany before I watched it in the U.S. Because back in the day, the U.S. sucked. We did not play soccer well. Um, so honestly, I mean, I still on a regular basis watch German National League. And if you want to know who my favorite team is, if you're from Europe, uh, it would be Bayern Munich. Um, it just is. So, um, and actually, I kind of enjoy the fact that the Germany game is on 4th of July. It's kind of nice. Um, Little side note for I get to watch a soccer game and then go to fireworks. So, um, I'm hoping this week's gonna be nice, and I hope everyone else's week's gonna be nice. And maybe just maybe this coming week will just be a good week. No, I don't think so. We'll have some kind of other thing going wrong. That's just what we have going on in the world nowadays. Although that's what's in the news, I suppose too. Hmm. So hopefully, honestly, would be kind of cool. In my personal opinion, I would love it to see Germany advance and U.S. advance, and them doing that twice. A Germany U.S. game for the semifinals would be just awesome. It just would be. But anyway, That's the news that I have during this week. There's a lot more. Oh my gosh, I forgot. No, 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 no. Huge, huge. How did I forget that? Um, the double earthquake in Venezuela, and I hope. I mean, I understand that there's going to be. I mean, right now the casualty list is much smaller than I expected, but we're gonna see that probably rise because you know, you have to have time to find all of the deceased. Oh my God, how did I forget this one? And yes, um, let's pray for everyone there. It doesn't matter if they're not from your country. It doesn't matter that they are maybe not of even the same mindset of you as you. Um, you should still pray for people because people are. I mean, they're people. Everyone is a person. Doesn't matter what they believe when it comes to stuff like this. Um, and even when it's more minor stuff, you should not. You know, we should not be fighting amongst ourselves, or wishing bad things upon people based on whether or not they have melanin or anything like that. Actually, yeah, that whole thing. I mean, I made the video for Shoe on Head, yesterday, the day before, whatever, and that that amount of vitriol. Oh my gosh, I mean, I went from I'm gonna be ending this video to a whole nother thought pattern. Um, yeah, we really, really need to start checking ourselves. I'm seeing this in everyone. Uh, I wish ethnicity and all that didn't matter. And I wish that people would stop being so radical. And I wish when people went someplace else, you act like the country you go to. That's the point of going there. You said you want to go there to get away from something, then get away from what's creating it. Oh, and I saw a video earlier this week too. This was actually kind of funny. It was about a African American going back to Africa because he, U.S. is bad and bad. They don't do, and then him admitting Africa sucks because you're an outsider there too. Um, maybe instead of, you know what, this is what we need to fix. We need to stop complaining and doing. We need to do instead of complaining. Complaining doesn't make solutions. Complaining doesn't create anything that will solve a problem. And honestly, this just ties into work too. I don't give a damn. This is, oh gosh, it's going to be a rant day too. Oh my god. Rant day. If all what you do is complain, don't expect any solutions. Don't expect anything to be fixed. Don't expect to get your way. Although that was kind of the case for a little while there, in you know 10 years ago during all this crazy lefty bull crap. Like I mean, and when I say lefty, I mean hard lefty. I'm not talking about a socialist. I'm not talking about somebody who's cordial to other people yet. I'm not talking about a person who can actually talk to someone. I'm not talking about someone who can discuss a problem even though they don't agree. I'm talking about the people, all what they do is complain and then they go get violent. That's what I mean by hard lefty. Complaining with violence. Hard lefty. If all what you're doing is complaining and not trying to solve the problem, and when I mean solve the problem, it doesn't mean segregate yourself into a box that makes you feel good. I'm talking about sitting down with the person that you have a issue with and saying this is my problem and you're standing in my way and why how can we solve this, not with violence, not with anything else. It's literally sit down, discuss the problem, see if there's a middle ground. If there's no middle ground, you're just going to have to live with it, because and solving problems like that require you to get into groups of for discussion. You're not supposed to stand on the corner and, I mean, protesting is good. You're supposed to make it known that there's a group of people who support this idea. That's a good thing. But you're not supposed to burn anything. You're not supposed to destroy anything. You're supposed to be able to talk. You're supposed to be able to deal with somebody across the street who's a counter protester. There shouldn't be, I mean, yes, there should be police there, but there shouldn't be the necessity to have police there. You should be able to walk up to each other and be on counter sides and not yell, scream, not do any of that foolishness. And you're supposed to be able to maybe, one person, one on one, even though you can, one on one at a time, I should say. Discuss the problem, and then you have to be able to articulate the reason for supporting your issue, not just yell across the way saying that you guys are such and such. My goodness, I just okay. This is oh um you know what? The biggest problem for our society at this very moment is that we just have a bunch of complainers and not doers. And the doers, the people who are doers, instead of focusing on all the things that everyone are complaining and arguing about, they're just draining your wallets. The people who are doers have given up on the basic people who have are complaining, and they have decided that, well, we might as well just get rich while you guys fight amongst yourselves. And I swear that's what's happening. I mean, that's the only thing I can conclude, because you see that we have the richest man on earth. It just broke the record. He's a billionaire. He literally has more money than some countries in the world. Some countries in the world have less money than one man. And I'm kind of a socialist by myself, so technically used to have a little bit of. I'm nowhere near left leaning anymore, because that goddamn imaginary line with the lefties running further and further away. I'm definitely firmly on the right now. Um, just I have certain opinions that are leftist in thought pattern. I think I'm making two videos right now too. Rich people are getting richer. Poor people are, well, they're probably getting. I mean, they are getting poorer, because I mean, if you really think about it, inflation's still happening. People's wages are kind of stagnated for the last umpteen decades. There's no sharing in wealth from a company that actually is doing well. Um, and we're too busy fighting about whether my skin allows me to associate in a certain group. My, how people have stopped thinking. Um, I don't know what to say about this. I just don't. I mean, I can rant and rant and rant. And I could go on, and it's just one of those things where, um, I don't know what to say. So that's my rant. I guess I'm gonna separate this into a different video. Um, cause yeah. Anyway, have a good one.